Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. For this week's Trojan Profile, I am joined by head women's basketball coach, Coach Chanda Rigby.
Hi,
so,
Amy.
Coach, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Amy. Good to be here.
Glad you're here. So, first off, you have 2 years under your belt now. Just talk about those past 2 years here at Troy.
It's been a whirlwind, and it's been fantastically exciting. We come in, turning a program around, changing the culture. It has been just 100% energy, 100% staying positive every day. You look up at the end of the season, and in these first 2 seasons, didn't have as many wins as we wanted to. I think last year 12. But the end result is the wheels are turning in the right direction. So hopefully this year we'll reap some of those rewards of the groundwork we've been laying the last 2 years.
And so over the 2 years, what have you learned that your team needs to work on and focus on through those years?
Well, my first 2 years here was strictly about changing the tempo of the game, the really, really fast pace compared to what was played here before. And we have over doubled the amount of points we average in a game. So we've done that. We've instilled that fast-paced system here at Troy. But what I need to do now is work on defense in the half-court game, because there were games that we scored 107 points in last year. We looked up and we let the other team score 108. That happened at University of Alabama. We lost in overtime. So we need to definitely work on some defense and keep pushing to go fast, but also be able to stop the opponents.
And now with 2 years under your belt, you know your competition a little better now. Can you talk about how that helps you in this coming year?
Yes, I mean, everything was new to me coming to Troy. I mean, I had not been at a Division I school before then. I certainly didn't know much about the Sun Belt Conference. So it's been a big education for me. And I do feel a little more relaxed this year, having scout reports on every team in the Sun Belt except the 2 new schools that are coming in this year, knowing what to expect, knowing how it's sort of guard-oriented, knowing what kind of post players we need to recruit. I had no clue of that coming in, so I am being able to relax in that a little bit now.
So now, with 2 new teams in the Sun Belt, how do you prepare for new teams?
Well, fortunately, we play them after Christmas, and so we'll have a lot of games that they played that we'll be able to scout, the film on them and how they did against other teams. So we'll be prepared when we get there. We just don't know exactly right now what the game plan will be against those.
Okay. And I know y'all have been having practice. How is your team looking so far this season?
Well, about 2 weeks ago, and I guess this is common to most coaches. 2 weeks ago, we just the coaches went in the office after practice. We're like, oh my goodness, I don't see how we're better than last year. And we put a lot of work, of course, into recruiting, and Troy's put a lot of resources. We just didn't feel like we were better. And just like normal, when we thought things were at their bleakest, we came back to the next practice the next day, and they started looking like a different team. And ever since then, we've just been on a roll of improvement, and we've been seeing so much improvement every day. And our young kids have kind of grown up a lot, and our older kids are learning how to take leadership. So it's coming together nicely.
And so, what are some goals for your team with all the the change and whatnot?
Well, to have a winning season this year is a landmark for us, because there hasn't been one here at Troy in a long time. That's the bottom of our goals. We also want to win the Sun Belt Conference. Last year, the team that won the Sun Belt Conference was Arkansas State, and we beat them at our place by over 20 points. And it's basically their same team again this year. And so we know, it's doable. It would be tough. It would be hard work, but that's what we're shooting for, Sun Belt Conference, so we can make postseason play.
Okay, and on the players spectrum, can you talk a little bit about your returning players and how you expect them to lead your team this year?
Yes, we have 4 returning seniors, and I met with them last night after practice. We work on leadership and them being able to go back and lead the team. And Asada Mayaga is a senior this year. Courtney Coleman is the only player that's still on our team that was from the old staff that was here, because as a freshman she played under the old staff that was here. Brianna Lancaster and Renita Garrett. And they are learning about how to lead a team. They are in a situation now that much of our success depends on how they reach out, not only on the floor, how they play, but how they handle the locker room when the coaches aren't in there, how they handle expectations at practice. So those are our returning seniors. We also have Ashley Beverly Kelly returning, who's an all-conference, preseason all-conference, Sun Belt Conference first team. So that's quite exciting to have somebody returning on our team. She's worked very hard in the offseason and improved even more than she was last year. We have Kristen Emerson. People are going to be amazed how much better she's gotten since last year. She was a sophomore, a local girl from right down the road in Prattville, Alabama. Lauren comes from the Navarre area, and she's a sophomore as well. So we've got a good group of people returning.
And now with those returning players, you also have new players coming in. How are those new players mixing in with the returning players?
It's always tough at first. And we do have a few junior college transfers this year. And having been a junior college coach, I know that transition is hard, because in junior college, every single thing you do is together as a team. You take class as a team, you eat every meal as a team, you sleep in the same dorm. And so that's been an adjustment with our junior college kids to a university. And what we try to challenge them to do is to build relationships on the team, but also go have a great college experience. That's one thing I like about Troy. Our administration is they very diligently remind us that they want these young ladies to have a great Troy college experience. So they're still making adjustments in that way. It's not only basketball here. It's a lot of basketball, but we want them to be well-rounded. So all in all, they're making a good adjustment.
And I know you mentioned Ashley Beverly Kelly has gotten the All Sun Belt honors before the season. Can you talk a little bit about what that means to your team?
It gives us confidence. I mean, we were very far from that a few years ago when I got here, having any player on any preseason team chosen for anything. So this gives us a lot of confidence that other coaches are looking to us and knowing that we have some major players in this conference even coming into it. It's not like we have so much to prove. It's like we've proven a little bit. Now let's just go with it and keep improving on our own skills.
And I know a couple of weeks ago y'all had the event Trojan Madness.
Yes.
How did that help your team and get ready for this season?
Trojan Madness was a fantastic event. I really appreciate the people that worked hard, Mike Frigge and several of those in the men's basketball staff that helped put this on. We had an amazing crowd. A lot of the sororities and fraternities came out. It was live in there. Somebody actually hit the shot to win the iPad, which was exciting, and gave a lot of shirts and prizes away. But the students really came out. I can't help but think that some of the wonderful success our soccer team has enjoyed this year, which we're so proud of our soccer team, and we wish them well now in the playoffs. But I can't help but think that a lot of their success is because of the great home crowds they built here. It just makes you want to win, and that's what we felt like. Our first event in Trojan Arena this year, we had that great support from the students here. It was fantastic.
So do you think that support will carry on into the season, and how do you think that will help your players?
I certainly hope that it does continue on, and I know it will help the players if it does continue on. So we really hope people will come out and know when the games are, mark them on the calendar, and be there.
And so speaking of games, y'all start off against Auburn and Clemson on the road. Can you talk about those two games?
That's tough to start a season off at Auburn and Clemson. Those are two of our toughest opponents that we'll play all year. And I debated whether to do it that way, and I decided, yes, I want to do it that way because normally you have a warm-up game or two that you can kind of work the bugs out. But to me, it's caused us to coach at a different level, to prepare to be our best for the first game. And it has certainly made me step my game up as a coach a lot. Like maybe at night, maybe I'm going to watch The Voice at night. No, I play Auburn first. Let me go watch more film on what happened at practice today, or let me see how I can help improve my players. So I think it's made the coaching staff step up to try to have the team at our best for the first game, and I believe it's helped our players step up as well. So we go play on the 14th Auburn and the 16th Clemson, and we come back for our first home game. Can I talk about that for a little bit now?
Sure.
First home game is the 21st of this month, of November. And we are really trying to pack Trojan Arena for that. It's a noon game, and we did that because it's the Friday before everybody gets out for Thanksgiving break. We're letting all school-age kids, well, everybody gets in free, but we're really promoting it to school-age kids. A lot of teachers are bringing their classes to the game before they get out for Thanksgiving break. But what we're really asking is for everybody on Troy campus, instead of just leaving and going home and starting your vacation, at 12 o'clock noon, come on over to Trojan Arena, eat lunch with us, have some lunch, watch the first tip-off at home, and support us. We would really feel great about that.
Okay, Coach. Well, we hope a big crowd, shows up for that game. And thank you so much for coming today. And thank you for talking about your team. And we wish you the best of luck this season. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now. We'll have a preview of what's coming up in Troy Athletics.